Hi, my name's April, and I just wanted to tell you my Dolly Parton story. Um, so, when I was two, or just really, really little, Dolly Parton used to have this show on TV called The Dolly Show, among other things, and I remember watching it, or at least pieces of it, as I grew up. I remember watching it with my grandma. And I remember that um, it used to be on at night, and it used to be my favorite thing to watch. Um, and as I got older, I really didn't think much about it. I didn't really think about the connection it would have when I was older. But when I was 13, my mom bought me my first Dolly Parton album. Um, it was actually a cassette, and I remember playing it over and over and over and over. And I think I wore it out, but I had all the songs memorized. And even though it was old and it sounded like it'd been played 10,000 times, I just kept playing it over and over and over. And I remember that as I got older and um, as I got introduced to more and more and more of her music, um, I remember that I had to have everything that had to do with her. I had, I had newspaper clippings, and I had magazine articles, and I just had this folder that I kept all this stuff in. Like I said, magazine articles and clippings and anything I could find on her. And I remember that she used to be the only thing I ever talked about for a couple of years anyway. Um, and I would imagine that people kind of really got tired of hearing about her, but she was the one person that I looked up to for so much, and the one person that I followed in my one interest for so long. And my my mom didn't she has no idea what she did by buying me that album, but it gave me something to look forward to, and it gave me someone to look up to. And um so as I got older, um I remember I had this dream of meeting her, and I kept telling people. I told my grandma over and over and over, and I told her over and over that I said, I'm gonna meet her one day. I'm gonna meet her one day, Grandma. And Grandma kept telling me, well, that's a nice dream, but a lot of people don't get that opportunity. And I said, Grandma, I am gonna meet her by the time I'm 15. And she only said that I probably wouldn't meet her once, because she realized what a dream it was. And so eventually she started saying, well, it'll happen. It has to happen. If you believe it'll happen, it'll happen. And I kept telling anybody who would listen that I was going to meet her by the time I was 15, or at some point in my life. And so here I am. I'm 14 years old in this ad, and I'm in art class, as a matter of fact. And this ad comes on the radio that we have, and I'm actually in the middle of school, and had this really cool art teacher who let us listen to music while we were drawing our pictures or whatever. So the radio was on, and I heard this announcement that Dolly Parton was going to be in Traverse City, Michigan, actually Interlochen Center for the Arts. And so I, 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 I waited until school got out, because I had no, I couldn't, 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 I could I couldn't call anybody. So I waited until school got out, and I went home and I told Mom. I said, Mom, Dolly Parton's gonna be in Traverse City or Interlaken. I said, can we please go see her, because it had been my dream my entire life, as far back as I can remember, to at least just see her in concert. And so my mom, she said, well, I don't know. Mom told me later that she had heard the same announcement, and she was going to surprise me with some tickets. And she wished I hadn't heard it, because she wanted to surprise me. And so, anyway, we called the Ticketmaster people, and hours later, but we finally got through, and we got tickets to go see her. And so I knew that we got the tickets, and I knew I was going to go see her. So I went back to school a couple days later, and I was talking to my 8th grade teacher, and he said something. He asked, I was telling him about my dream about meeting Dolly Parton, and how I was going to go see her in concert, not only for the first time, but that she was going to be my very first concert, and that I'd never been to a concert. And I was telling him my dream about meeting her, and he said something about knowing somebody that knew her, and I don't know whether it was her road manager or if it was, just a friend or what, but he said that he would talk to them, and I ended up getting, well, at least I think, 4 backstage passes. But anyway, it was June 19th, 1993. And by the way, this had been my grandma's dream for me, because she knew how important it was. So before that, she had signed me up for Dolly Parton's fan club, and I don't have it anymore, but I used to have a picture that was personally autographed in gold lettering that said, it had a message on it. I don't even remember what the message said, but it had a message on it, and in gold it said Dolly Parton, and there was some other stuff in the package, and I was beyond myself, because I had no idea that my grandma had even done that. And so when the package showed up in the mail, they set it up at the end of the hall, and I just kind of stared at it for a really long time, and I couldn't believe I had this picture of Dolly Parton that was autographed. And so anyway, back to when I met her, June 19th, 1993. It was the best day ever. It was my biggest dream in the whole wide world, and I still, to this day, I can't believe that it happened and that it came true. When I met her, I thought I was gonna, pee my pants. It was so exciting, so exciting. And when she's just so nice and so genuine, and just a beautiful, beautiful person. And I'm really, really glad that I met her, and I'm really, really glad that I got the opportunity, even if it was just for 5 minutes, to spend some, time with her, and to just be in the moment with her. Unfortunately, I can't show you any pictures, but because I don't have them. But it was just the biggest and best day of my life. And I don't know if Dolly Parton's ever going to see this, but thank you so very much for making a little girl's dream come true, because it just so happens this summer that I met her, and I told people this for a couple years, but the summer that I met her, I was 15. So thank you so very much, Dolly, for making my dream come true and for making it the best day. I will never forget it. It was my first concert and my biggest dream to meet you. So thank you, Dolly, for letting it happen and for being just who you are. Okay, so there you have it. There's my story of meeting Dolly Parton, or at least what I can remember anyway, because, you know, it's been a while. Anyway, okay, bye.